Hey, what's up, fellas, man? Thank y'all for having me.
Of course,
Man, we haven't talked to you in a while.
Yeah, it's been a while, man, but don't worry. I listen to y'all every morning when I'm heading into work, man.
I
So,
love it.
We're still connected.
All right,
My
love it.
man.
What is your
love it.
commute? Where are you heading to work? Like, where do you live? Where are you heading to work?
Oh, no, it's Ashburn. It's Loudoun County. And then I'm literally going maybe 15 minutes to Redskin Park. I'm sorry, Commanders Park.
Right.
But, I still make sure I get in the car and get me a good 30 minutes of y'all guys ramble on about what you like and what you don't like.
Nice.
My man Fred.
All right, well, hold on. I got to get a lot of info from you. First of all, what were your impressions of the draft? Were you a Jaden guy coming out? I can't remember.
Actually, I thought no one of these guys was a consolation prize. But the more and more I watched Drake May, I was like, he might need a little bit of time.
Right.
And I don't think that's on the schedule that we was on. I thought we was on more of a Jaden Daniels schedule as me and Logan kept going back and forth. Who's going to be ready from day one to get put in there and give us a chance to probably win some games? It's going to be the guy that's a dual threat. It's going to be a guy that gives you time and patience to put this offensive line together. And while doing that, he can get himself out of trouble with his legs, which Drake May has the legs, just not as explosive as Daniels is.
Right.
Logan, though, was a JJ guy, wasn't he, in the end?
Yeah, listen, we both like JJ, because the one thing about JJ, he didn't have the volume, but if you look at all of his throws, they are pro throws. You look at who he went against at practice, a defensive mastermind that's the head coach in Seattle. You look at his head coach in Harbaugh, he also had a pro head coach teach him how pro ethics and pro things to do. I thought JJ was ready, and these to put him in the Vikings, that's a perfect spot. You got two wide receivers, you got a tight end over there, you got a running back, and you got a very underrated offensive line. He's set up for success.
Now, as you know, this roster is completely different. I mean, they added so many guys.
Yeah.
Just kind of your thoughts, how they overhauled it, adding guys like, bringing guys in the offensive line, bringing some edge rushers, bringing in two different linebackers, Bobby Wagner being that veteran presence, going to be really good in the huddles. Yeah. Bringing in a couple more DBs, Eckler on offense. I mean, just kind of give us your thoughts on outside of the draft, just kind of the guys they brought in.
I thought Adam Peters was amazing in his approach. I thought he had a plan. I thought they had a plan on what Commanders players look like. And I thought, all right, think about this, fellas. We had a roster that already came with like 60% of the roster is not even re-signed. Mm-hmm. So what he did with this roster is say, I'm going to look at the good parts of this roster and the bad parts. And the bad parts, mostly he didn't have to cut. He didn't have to release. He didn't have to go and wheel and deal with. So we kept the best of the best that we had. That's the John Allens of the world, the Payne, the Terry McLaurin, the Jahan Dodsons, the B-Robs of the world. We kept the best core, and then we added guys like Eckler. So now, backfield-wise, we have two of the best pass-protected running backs. B-Rob showed us last year he can catch out the backfield and do multiple things. Then you bring in Eckler on third down. He's the guy that can – he don't have to tote the load. I think he's going to be better off of less carries.
Yeah.
And then you say offensive line. Everybody like, did we do anything on the offensive line? Oh, yeah, we did. I think Taylor Biotis is going to be good at the center position. People forget that Sam Cosmi was one of the highest graded guards in football last year. You bring in Adam Grady, you still got a Chris Paul. And I'm telling people right now, when it comes to Brandon Coleman, man, go watch the film. And we're talking about a guy that took over 1,500 snaps, didn't have but 3 sacks. All right, and he has the same. Look at his grade when it comes to his athletic grade. And I'm not saying he's going to beat this dude. I'm not saying he's going to play on this level. But his athletic grade, meaning this guy can do things that a 300-pounder should not be able to do, is very similar to Trent Williams. So now you say, all right, on offense, we trimmed it to the bone. We kept the best players, and we added a Luke McCaffrey to the wide receiver room. We added an extra running back. We added Ben Sinat to go with Zach Ertz. Everything that I just said, we got better. On defense, you flip to that side of the ball. We did the exact same thing. We kept the best players, and then we started to add Frankie Lou, who I think people going to understand. They're going to love him. Mm-hmm. And you think about Wagner. We're talking about Yellow Jacket. This guy, we getting him a year after the same age we got London. That turned out pretty good, and he played for a long time. You had a Mike Sanders still to that defensive backfield. Don't forget Quinn Martin. And when everybody had a down year last year, this guy actually had a good year. Defoe is back off of injury. Don't forget Jeremy Chin. We added to the defensive backfield. We got some guys that I think people need to just calm down and let these guys do what they do best, and they're putting a good team together.
What about Manny Forbes? I know last year was an up and down year for him. I thought he finished stronger. What is sort of your take? And I mean, is that going to end up being a disappointing pick, or can he still salvage something here?
Hey, can we all agree, fellas, that pretty much every defensive back and mostly every defensive player had their worst year on this team, don't you think?
Yeah.
I thought Jalen Allen had a down year. I thought Payne. I thought St. Juice. I thought everybody. And we all got kids here. So we know most of the time it ain't such thing as bad kids. It's bad parents. You got to look at the coaching that these guys had to endure last year. You got to look at what they had to go out there, and it's nothing worse as a player to go out here and don't believe in the game plan. Go out here and go into protection mode so I don't get fired. So it's the difference. I think with Coach Witt, what Emmanuel Forbes and the rest of these guys getting is somebody that's designing defensive plays to let them know you are protected. You can take your shot. You can jump that ball. It's more detailed. If you watch these guys practice, I was blown away by the dual 7-on-7. He's giving every player on this team a chance to make it. So you ain't just getting, if you're the bottom of the roster, you just only getting 3 or 4 reps. No, you're getting 20. You're getting 15 reps so they can actually grade you. So I think Manny Forbes and the rest of these guys going to benefit from Witt and the rest of these coaches when it comes to their mental and how they approach the game.
What did you I just want to get back to Jaden for a second. So you've been there at practice. What about how has he looked to you just like in person? Like some people have said he's actually a little bit bigger than they thought. You think he's going to be so skinny. You were a guy that was. I remember when you came into the league, they used to tease you for only repping 225 one time. You were a lighter guy. What about Jaden when you see him in person?
You know what? You're right. But skinny guys matter too. Don't worry, we can grow into our say. I tell all people all the time, we gain weight because we get a little older, and plus we got stakes and weights. We're gonna do that. You're gonna eat good, plus you're gonna work out good. But he is bigger than most people think. But even though I'm blown away how the ball leaves his hand, and for him to be such a tall dude, that tight release he has, I'm blown away by the person, man. Like I watched him talk to Tress Way. I watched him talk to players around there. He's magnetic. He's a guy that you think he was maybe taken in the 4th round the way he goes around. He's a very humble kid. He wants to learn. And I think I'm blown away more by Jaden the person. I knew he could push the ball down the field, but when you get a guy with talent like that that's eager to learn from each and every coach, and Kingsbury, man, watching him practice, you want to talk about energy. Like they are on the same accord, and I think that's what we got to do in Washington right now. We got to say, you know what? When you're shell-shocked and you're not used to being treated good, you have Stockholm Syndrome, and I think that's what we got right now. At the end of the day, we have great ownership. We have a great GM. We have a great coaching staff. We got a new quarterback. Everything is pointed in the right direction. We can't let the past take the future.
He's very optimistic.
You are. All right, so when you look at the schedule, big-time schedule release thing last night, right? And we did our predictions today. Three of the first 4 in that first month are on the road, and Tampa is going to be tough just because it's going to be hot as balls. It's going to be 95 degrees in Tampa in September, and then you got to go to Cincinnati on a Monday night. Got to go to Arizona. That's a sneaky place. Dallas found that out last year. But your thoughts in general when you look at the schedule.
I know we have one of the most favorable schedules in the league. When you look at a schedule, you look at the quarterbacks you're going to play. The best quarterback we're going to play is probably going to be Joe Burrow in the first quarter of this schedule. Mm-hmm. We have Lamar Jackson coming up. And, of course, we got the guys we have to deal with inside our division when it comes to Jalen Hurts and Dak. So we have a favorable schedule, and we have something that they don't know. They don't know how our offense is going to be running. So by the 3rd game, that'll be the first time anybody has film on what Cliff Kingsbury offense looks here. They don't have any film on the defense and how we're going to operate on defense. But we got all the information we need on the Cowboys because we got a lot of coaches just coming over there. They know Dak's weaknesses. They know his strengths. They understand the strengths and the weaknesses of the team. So at the end of the day, I think the schedule favors us. I think the schedule favors us, and I'm not saying we're going to the playoffs or nothing, but I'm saying this, that when it comes to this schedule, it gives us a chance to, one, start fast. It gives us another chance to get better as the year go on. So I think it's all about expectations.
Mm-hmm. I mean, can you imagine if Jaden Daniels stays healthy and, has a winning record, this place will be on fire.
You remember the RG3 year, right?
Yeah, of course.
I think it was so electric. It was the first time that stadium rung like it used to, and the fan base so excited. I think we can get back here. Why not? Like I said, we've upgraded in pretty much every position on the team. And we didn't get better at that position because we kept that person, all right? So we kept the Jamin Davises of the world. We kept the Depaynes of the world. So we are set up for success. And then look at the youth on this team. And then when you look at the free agents, look at who was given a 2 to 3 year contract and who was given a 1 year contract. So we got some guys that's playing for their NFL life, and we got some guys that want to prove stuff like a Jeremy Chin. Don't forget, he came runner-up defensive player, rookie of the year to Chase Young. So it's some players on this team, and what they're playing for, I think, is going to really help it.
How big is it having a veteran like Bobby Wagner around? I saw Sam Cosmi saying that Wagner, during one of the drills, or maybe it was 7-on-7, said he's pulling because he had noticed that Cosmi had a slight lean. How big is it having a veteran like that, and how big was that for your career?
Well, you know the veterans I had. I walked in my defensive back room, and it was Deion Sanders, Dale Green, and Champ Bailey. So, hey, you know the veterans I had. I had the best veteran group of quarterbacks you could ever get. I learned everything possible from them guys. They made my career very easy. That's why I got a chance to start out fast. But Bobby Wagner, listen, I love – he comes into the locker room. When he comes into the locker room, whoever's been in the locker room and whoever knew, it don't matter. All right? His credentials say, I'm the leader. All right? If you want to help me to the mountaintop, I'll show you. I'll help you. I've been there. I've done that. I've seen that. You can't question nothing about him. When a guy like that comes into the locker room, I'm sorry. Some people relinquish the throne and understand we might need to follow this guy. All right? So I love, and I said we brought him in a year later than when London came in. And so he still, I think, got a lot of football left in him, but I think what people need to really understand is the guy behind him that we drafted from Temple, Jordan McGee, this guy right here looks – we watched him run on the field the other day. Not only is he huge, this guy can move. He got range. He can cover. He can get down here. Like, I was super excited for him, not only the athlete, but the fact that who he's learning from. He's learning from Bobby Wagner. And now you put that brain inside that athletic body. No telling what the upside there, but Bobby Wagner brings a lot to this team. He brings even more to this locker room. He will settle everybody down when things get hard. That's what London was. London was forever that piece that's going to make sure everybody's on the same level and make sure that defense runs like it's supposed to be ran.
I don't like to rush life away, especially at my age, Smooty, but, man, I wish camp started like this week.
You ready for it?
I'm ready. I'm ready for the preseason.
Yeah. Hey, Smoot, thank you, buddy. Been a pleasure. We'll get you on again soon.
All right, thanks, guys. Thanks for having me.
All right, bro.
All right, thank you, pal.